All right,
that's right. And there's still
I'm sorry
a
to
lot
interrupt you, Priscilla, but I have to, in fact, inform our viewers that those are the latest visuals of Prime Minister Modi arriving at the JFK in New York. He's also being greeted by a host of dignitaries over there. Remember, he'll also be welcomed by the Indian American community, which has a strong presence. Ruchira Kamboj, I can see, is also stationed right outside his aircraft, and he's now being welcomed, and soon he will be reaching Lotte, which is the hotel where Prime Minister Modi will be stationed in New York before he leaves for Washington, D.C. Those are the latest visuals that we are bringing to you. The Prime Minister has landed in New York City for his 3-day visit to the United States. These are the latest visuals that we are bringing to you from JFK Airport. Let's quickly go back to Priscilla. Priscilla, my apologies for interrupting you there. Those were live shots coming in. So, yes, do throw light on how significant this visit is going to be in terms of proving it to be a turning point for US-India ties.
It does come at a critical time. Again, as I just mentioned, we saw earlier this weekend, over the weekend, the United States trying to reopen those channels of communication with China, with the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, visiting China to meet with his counterpart. It was the first Secretary of State, or at least the highest official under President Biden, to go to China. It was the 5th Secretary of State to visit China to have these discussions. And so it really comes at a critical time now that the Prime Minister will be coming to Washington, D.C. to have that state visit and those discussions with President Biden, because it's become quite clear that while there seems to be a path forward for that relationship with China and the United States to smooth over at least a little bit, it's going to be increasingly important for the United States to share that partnership with India, which is strategically located in the region for the United States. So those are all discussions that are likely to happen. Also, of course, against the backdrop of the war in Ukraine, which is ongoing, and where there is an anticipation of that heightened counteroffensive in the weeks and months to come. So all of these themes really tying together and coming to fruition later this week with that state visit.
All right. Many thanks to Priscilla Alvarez for bringing us all the latest details. Zaka Jacob, our managing editor, continues to track all the latest as far as Prime Minister's visit is concerned. Zaka, we're just getting in some latest visuals from JFK Airport of Prime Minister Modi, in fact, being welcomed. I can see Ruchira Kamboj is also very much present in attendance. Having said that, you just mentioned that Prime Minister will be also headed towards Lotte, the hotel where he will be stationed. What happens after his arrival at the hotel?
So, like I said, he's expected to leave the airport in the next few minutes, and in about half an hour's time, he's expected to come here to the Lotte Hotel. I just want my camera person, Ravinder, to show you where we are. We are in sort of Midtown Manhattan. It's called the Lotte Hotel. It's on the intersection between Madison Avenue and the 50th West Street. You can see the hotel here. This, I believe, is the place where Prime Minister always stays in the 6 times that he's been to the United States as Prime Minister, and every time he's come to New York City, this is his preferred destination. So once he lands here, once he arrives at the hotel, we're expecting him to be here by closer to 2 o'clock. After that, he then, of course, has a brief period of rest. At 4 o'clock, I'm given to understand the first set of engagements. These are going to be one-on-one engagements. There are going to be some with a group of people as well. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, he's going to be meeting the Prime Minister today. We're given to understand that there will be other Nobel laureates. Ray Dalio, who's a big investor, he will be meeting the Prime Minister as well. So a whole bunch of eclectic people will be meeting him today. That's going to be in the second half of the day from 4 o'clock till about 8 o'clock or so. And then, just before that, I just want to ask my camera person to show you, the number of people who've gathered here. There is a small but very vocal crowd that has joined here. They have come from different parts of the United States. Many of them have been living here for 20, 30, 40 years. You can see many of them sort of dressed in the traditional Indian attire, as it were. So clearly, a lot of them have come all the way just to get a glimpse of the Prime Minister. We're given to understand that he will pass by the Madison Avenue and then his cavalcade will stop right outside the doors of the hotel. They are expecting, the expectation of the people who've gathered here is that Prime Minister will come and speak to them. Let me try and see if I can speak to some individuals here. Excuse me, sir. Where are you? Excuse me, sir. Where are you coming from? And what are you hoping to see?
New Jersey.
You're coming from New Jersey.
Yeah.
How far of a journey had you had to take?
About 39 miles.
About 39 miles. And you've come here why?
We came to just have a glimpse of Mr. Modi.
You have a glimpse of Mr. Modi.
Because we were not allowed to enter inside the hotel because we were not registered first of all.
Okay.
So we could not get the admission inside the hotel. So we are standing outside to greet him and wave our flags and show him the sign of welcome. That's all.
All right. So they're all standing here to show the sign of welcome. You can see some of the crowds who have gathered here. Let's try and see if I can show you. You know, a lot of women also have turned up. All of them having, of course, the Indian flag and the US flag, both waving the flag, as it were. Let me try and see if I can speak to some of them. So, where have you come from?
Long Island, New York, sir.
Okay, and you're here for?
To welcome our dearest Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi ji, जिन्होंने 9 साल में जितना भारत के लिए किया है, किसी ने नहीं किया है. मैं भारत के लिए भी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, विश्व के लिए किया है. शायद ही कोई ऐसा विश्व में लीडर होगा जो उनके जैसा होगा. Thanks to our Prime Minister Narendra Bhai.
So, for NRIs, यहाँ की Indian American community जो है, आपका क्या expectations है from the Prime Minister?
हमारा एक्सपेक्टेशन कुछ नहीं है. हम पूछना चाहते हैं नरेंद्र भाई मोदी से, अभी जैसे हम अमृत काल में जा रहे हैं 25 साल, प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी हमें बताओ हम भारत के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं. एंड वेरी रेडी टू गिव तन मन धन. भारत ने हमको सब कुछ दिया है. आज हम अपने इतने वेल्थ है, सब कुछ है, हमारे बच्चे बहुत सुखी हैं बिकॉज हमको एजुकेशन भारत ने दी थी. इसके लिए तो अभी इट्स अ पे बैक टाइम फॉर वी इंडियंस. टेल अस नरेंद्र भाई व्हाट वी कैन डू फॉर भारत एंड वील डू इट to make Bharat as Vishwaguru in next 25 years.
Where have you come from, sir?
I come from Unit.
So what are your expectations from this visit?
See, we don't expect anything from our country because our country, as Dignitaries said, has given a lot of us. They have given the basic education for which we are here, right? अगर आप देखिए तो हमारे IITs के जो पढ़े हुए हैं, they are now the CEOs, right? And we are doing it. What we expect is they should have a plan for the NRIs, how we can invest back in the country. जैसे हर कंट्री का होता है, हो सकता है उनका हो, we are not aware of that. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि नहीं है, but I think the best way is how you harness the potential we guys have to back in our home country.
So some time back there were these visa issues, H1B and so on. What are your expectations on that front?
See, H1B, I also came on H1B here, and now we are on another ladder. But the thing is that this is a more like in a Congress issue, US Congress issue than the India issue. But I will say that yes, Indian government should raise that H1B visa and the green card should expedite, the US should expedite, and they should increase the quota. Yeah, that's a major concern.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So you can see, while a lot of them are here to get a glimpse of the Prime Minister, to try and, welcome him on US soil, so one of the participants also talking about how the NRI community, whether it is voting rights, whether it is being able to invest back smoothly and efficiently back in India, and of course one of the participants also talking about how some of these visa issues, H1B and green card, these are issues that can be taken up as well. So those are the concerns that they have. But like I said, right now they're all awaiting the Prime Minister's entry here. I'm given to understand that he should be here closer to 2 o'clock.